It's still the choice on Equa Television International. Um, we're so happy because already we started seeing the result flowing, in, and collation already is going on in Kano and other state capital. Lagos are still on. I still have Joyce Dekada and Sele Elisha with me.
Yeah,
It's a
good
pleasure to
evening.
be
The
back.
results are coming,
Mm.
What's your take? Because I saw how people are reacting in other medium, concerning how the results are coming. I think some people are not quite okay with how the delay, they are expecting by now, based on what INEC said, how ready they are. By now, the results supposed to be, like by now we're supposed to be rounding up, not even starting.
Well, Sambo Solomon, like we said earlier on, there are a lot of expectations. Nigerians, since yesterday, they have been expecting to start hearing results as they are being collated. But just this afternoon, we kept following up with what is happening. The chairman of INEC, talking about Mahmoud Yakubu, gave a press briefing, and he talked about the fact that he gave procedures to which result is going to be collated, and down to the announcement, which is going to be done by him, who is the returning officer, that the constitution actually gives him that power to do that. And we talked about the fact that any result that people are seeing out there is not the stand of the commission, but you will remember that any result they are supposed to uphold and stand by it is the result that is coming out from the commission, because they are constitutionally given that power to do that. And in his press briefing, he said from 6 p.m. collation will begin. We saw how the office was, the collation center in Abuja was officially open during the day and for collation. And even though people were expecting that from that noon result will start, the collation result will begin, but INEC said it is 6 p.m. And before that, there was also a press release just to apologize to Nigerians about the fact that people from yesterday, from 6 p.m. yesterday, have been trying to access the result viewing portal, but because of they've been having some kind of challenges, just trying to log into the result viewing portal, and a lot of comments were already coming up that, oh, maybe these people want to sabotage the process, or maybe there's some conspiracy trying to just rig the election and all of that on behalf of maybe a particular candidate and all of that. But we always maintain that absence of information gives room for rumors to thrive. But INEC quickly responded to that situation by coming up with a press release and telling Nigerians that actually it is a technical hitches, but they are actually working on it. So it is not for that reason that some people are thinking, oh, maybe because they want to sabotage the process. They said it is just technical hitches, and they are working on it to ensure. And I think I tried logging in this evening. I had access to it, which is a good one. But obviously, from the voters' point of view, the testimony we've been hearing from people, they went out there, it was peaceful, they were able to cast their vote, even though there were reports of some places where talks snatched the disrupt the process, burn the electoral materials and all of that. 6 p.m. Nigerians were waiting to start hearing the result collated, but just one out of the 36 states and the FCT result was announced, which is Ekiti State. And people were expecting, because the INEC chairman said as the state representatives like of the INEC come with the results, like they are going to be taking it like that. And then Ekiti, it was just Ekiti's result that was ready, and INEC actually announced the result of Ekiti, with Tinubu leading, then Atiku, Obi, and Rabiu Konkoso. The thing is that right now, as we speak, there are mixed feelings, because we expected the process to continue, but obviously it wasn't. It was just one state that was the result was actually available, and this announcement of result has been postponed till 11 a.m. tomorrow. So, like we kept saying, Nigerians should remain calm. we should remain calm. We have seen that collation is still taking place in some states. And of course, following the process and procedures that the INEC chairman give, there's no way you just get results straight from announcement will be made from polling units or from a voter straight up to INEC. And even though people have been suggesting, why can't we have a system where once I cast my vote, it goes, the announcements that like it's being followed up and announcements are made. Maybe the next administration will look into that suggestion. But right now, because of the process that needs to be followed from polling unit, like the ward level, you have to go to the LG level, and the results will be announced like that. See, when it gets to state, it will also be announced there with all the agents, observers right there before it gets to Abuja. And then it's that all the procedures would definitely be followed and all of that. But there are observers that have expressed mixed reactions. Some have said it is the worst election that has taken place like since 1999 for some of the observers. And what is their reason? They talked about the fact, which is not far from some of the things that other people have talked about, delay in logistics, malfunctioning of the beavers, the delay of the INEC officials even coming and conducting election. These are some of the reasons that they have given that made them say this is the worst. In fact, one of the observers that observed Enugu said materials that were deployed like were not up to 6%. And in fact, she gave an instance of one of the polling units that was just opposite INEC office, but the officials came about past 10, 11 a.m. We received calls from callers telling us how that till evening they didn't see anybody. So that's so uncalled for. We've been giving it to INEC, and we won't take that away, because from the beginning we've been seeing how the updates, the confidence, the reassurances given to the people. But you recall how I always say beyond the talk, people want to see that translate in action. And beyond this, already these are what observers are saying. You remember how I say we need to do this, we need to be intentional about this election, because the international, the world is looking at us. Anything we portray becomes our image to the world. How important this election is, that every African country is also looking up to Nigeria. If you get it right, we get it right as well. But we've seen some activities, some things that have happened that is even against the Electoral Act. You recall that when the president went to Katsina to cast his vote, in Katsina while casting his vote, he actually showed his ballot paper, which was actually against section 122 of the Electoral Act. And then when you go down to section 122 subsection 4, there's also, it says it is illegal for you to cast your vote and even make it public. It's supposed to be secret voting. But not just the president, we saw other people. The AGF did the same thing, like the Senator Uzo Kalu did the same thing. The governor of Benue State also toward the same part. These are key people in governance. And then you start asking yourself, if these people that are supposed to uphold, imagine the AGF, like of the federation, doing something like this, then where is the place of law? So we have an electoral act that we signed into. We are supposed to see our leaders even following it, but reverse is the case. If the president that has been promising Nigeria a free, fair, credible election, a peaceful election, is going against the electoral act, then think about the confidence that people are going to have in the process at the end of the day. No wonder we're already getting a report from observers saying this is the worst election, even though Nigerians are saying, oh, so far it has been peaceful and all of that. But, you know, it's not just about the voting. The result matters. So the voice of the people at the end of the day, is it going to be reflected? These are questions that people are asking. So if you see, like, key people going against the Electoral Act, then you start asking questions. So if you can go against what is written in the Electoral Act, which even stipulated that there is a fine of 100,000 naira or even 3 months imprisonment or both, then you begin to ask yourself if you can assent to like an electoral act and go against it. So what confidence should Nigeria have even in the process? You get. So we commend Nigerians for the peaceful conduct, like of themselves, even ensuring that the result is being counted in their presence. But I think integrity is when you say a thing and keep to it. It says a lot. And we saw how President Muhammadu Buhari kept talking about the fact that he's already, some of the complaints we also had from people, you see, beyond the delay, officials will come, they will tell you, oh, we don't have pad, we don't have ink, there's no stamp and all of that. You start asking yourself some questions like, is this deliberate? Like what's causing all of this? Earlier on, we got a call that out of 3,000 people in a particular polling unit, only 7 had the opportunity to vote. What happened to the 700? What happened to the 2,300 people? Let's not see all of these things happening in this election. Like what I'm calling on INEC at this moment. They need to give a list of all the polling units, come up with.
Let's go back a little bit to questions that were being asked to INEC if they were ready. We saw them putting some guidelines, and then we've been asking, is there a body that is supposed to ensure that everything INEC said is being followed up? We saw the issue, especially, let's take a look at when we had the primaries. There were lots of back and forth. It is no longer rumors. There were bags of dollars that were being exchanged there, and people were angry and they were sad. We saw where candidates or aspiring candidates stepped down for particular, when I say a particular candidate that they felt we should rally around this candidate and give him. And I clearly remember when we said that the fate of Nigeria is in the hands of these delegates, because are they sure of the people we're going to vote there? That's one story by the side. Now, if we're going to take a look at, yes, INEC, because of course, everybody is on INEC and making sure that INEC do what they are supposed to do. We already have problems where some of the officials were late. We're already having problem with the cyber, that you're unable to upload results. We're already having issues of beavers being malfunctioned. And I remember that clearly questions were being asked, are you sure that this thing will work? Because I clearly remember in part of their guidelines, or when they brought out the Electoral 2022, I was going through that Electoral Act. And some of the guidelines, they said that when the results are there, you were to snap it and it comes as a PDF file before you are able to upload all of that thing. And they ensure that they are working, that they won't have any problem whatsoever. We asked, is there a legal body that is supposed to back them in case of anything going wrong? INEC told us that they are ready. So it's expected that Nigerians trust you. Just like you said, integrity is very, very key. Trust is very key. Being transparent is very key. So just in case if you do anything, we know that, okay, I can trust this body, that when they say one thing, they'll follow it up. I kept hammering on this issue that, especially when we had the peace accord being signed, lots of these candidates went against this. It was vivid. It wasn't secret anymore. And I kept asking the question, okay, if this is what is happening, is there a body that's supposed to make sure? I know there's a fine and all of that. I think we have a caller from Port Harcourt.
Hello.
Good
Hello,
evening
Mr.
and welcome
Numa.
to the show.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Go ahead, please.
Hello. Yeah, good evening,
Good
my
evening.
people in the studio.
Evening.
Yeah, good evening.
We can
Good
hear you,
evening.
sir. Please go on.
May God bless you, Jesus.
Amen. Thank you.
Please, are you hearing me?
We can hear you clearly,
Please,
sir.
that is the request I need from you people.
Go on.
There is time that you people, Equal Television, play very early in the morning today by 3 a.m. Israelite something in the background. So please, I need it, please.
A song?
Is it a song, sir?
I need to replay it, please. It's
Okay.
Even me and my family, we cannot sleep without. Huh?
Is it a song?
Not song, it's a tape.
Okay.
No, it's tape. It's
All
a
right, maybe you should just
video,
drop your request on our Facebook
background,
page.
No, yeah, the Mary and the whatever.
Okay. Maybe just drop your request on our Facebook page and we'll pick it up from there. If there's a way we can help out, then we'll help you out. Thank you so much for that. So before that call came in, Joyce, I was actually saying that it's high time we have a body. I kept emphasizing this because I don't want it to look as if we're against INEC, but all eyes is on you. And it's expected that you work on your structure. These are things, little lapses, and then we overlook it, and before you realize it, we're giving birth to a lot of things that are happening. We'll see corruption, whether legally or illegally, whether it's vivid or not. We can see all of this creeping, and I just hope that the INEC chairman will address all of this thing. Yes, he has apologized, the reason why we are having the REV not working, the portal, and they have rectified that. But then at a point like this, okay,
Let's
we
talk
have
to
another
Kingsley
caller.
from Gwagwalada. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Kingsley calling. Brother.
Oh, thank you for joining.
Okay, I talk about the people that were disenfranchised yesterday.
Okay.
Though my company vote was passed there and everything went on properly and as expected. But some people gave us information from friends that went to vote at a particular place that is called as in this part of that the voting was going on. No security personnel was there with even a single gun or even button. Before some people came, unarmed people, not even armed people, some unarmed people came according to what they told us, came and disrupted and scattered all the whole voting system, and before you know, they called people to come and carry the INEC officials, and the coppers ran away, some changed their clothes and ran away. So they were expecting that they would come back and continue the voting, but it happened that one of the centers, when I was passing there, I saw that one of the centers, they came back that night to keep personnel and continue. When they gave information that the other one, they are coming back. If voters came back to show the zeal that they have, they really came back to vote again, and officials did not come back there. So what's going to happen to those people that we are disenfranchised? Because for speaking with most of them, the level of disappointment, most of them, a friend have to travel from Maraba to Gwagwalada here to come and cast a vote. At the end, she couldn't cast her vote. And talking to her, she was very sad that she came all the way to cast her vote. And now, following results, why there are centers that things like this happen, what is going to happen? What is the fate of these people?
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so much
Kingsley,
for
for
that
calling and for that update. Like we said earlier on, INEC must get a list of all the polling units that elections didn't hold. And that's why I would say, when you call, kindly give us full details of the information of full details of the polling units, so that way we can forward the information as well. But INEC should ensure they get the list of all the polling units that elections didn't hold, or where people were disenfranchised. Like, we shouldn't have all of that cases. Everybody has that legitimate right to go out there and
We have a
exercise
call.
their vote.
Sorry, Joyce. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
We can hear you. Go on, please. Okay.
Please,
Okay, maybe
please
call us back
do
again.
us well.
Yeah.
Turn down the volume of your TV set if you're calling us, so that we'll hear you, and then you will be able to contribute to what we are discussing here, and people will be able to get you clean and understand what
I
they're trying
think
to say.
before we go on with the conversation, maybe we need to just link up with our control room to get the announcement collation from INEC. That way people can get the 1 out of the 36 states and FCT result that was announced. Like, that's Ekiti, I think. So
Yeah.
let's link up with our control room.
I understand that we have the result for Ekiti State. And so it is my pleasure to invite Professor Bawemi Salami, the resident electoral commissioner for Ekiti State, to come forward with the state collation officer for the presidential election. And they should introduce themselves, and then the scope will formally present the result. As he is presenting, we'll also project the result on the screens in this hall. We requested them to send the result on a secure email based on what transpired at the polling units as collated at ward level, local government level and state level. So you'll all follow with us the collation as announced by the state collation officer for the presidential election. So why the REC Ekiti State?
Thank you, sir. I am Professor Ayobami Salami, the resident electoral commissioner for Ekiti State. And with me is the collation officer for the state.
Good evening, all. I am Professor Akim Olawale Lasisi. I am the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Earth Sciences, Ilarongun in Osun State, and I am the Presidential Collation Officer for Ekiti State.
Right, Scob, please continue.
Okay, sir.
Tell her the number of local governments in the state and the other details, and make your submission thereafter. Please go ahead.
Ekiti State has 16 local governments with total number of registered voters, 987,647. Total number of accredited voters, 315,058. The total number of votes received by the presidential candidates of each of the political parties are as follows. Party A, 69 votes. Party AA, 29 votes. Party AAC, 108 votes. Party ADC, 1,337 votes, 1337. Party ADP, 737 votes, 737. Party APC, 201,494. Party APC, 201,494. Party APGA, APGA, 268 votes. Party APM, 46 votes. Party APP, 91 votes. Party BP, 46 votes. Party LP, 11,397 votes. Party LP, 11,397. Party NNPP, 264 votes. Party NRM, 131 votes. Party PDP, 89,554 votes. Party PDP, 89,554 votes. Party PRP, 48 votes. Party SDP, 2,011 votes. Party SDP, 2011. Party YPP, 81 votes. Party ZLP, 460 votes. Total number of valid votes, 308,171. 308,171. Total number of rejected votes, 6,301. Total number of rejected votes, 6,301. Total vote cast, 314,472. Total vote cast, 314,472.
Okay, thank you very much, Scope. Are there places where election did not hold or cancelled for sundry malpractices?
Yes, sir. There are 2 places where elections where we had cancellation. The total number of registered voters in the polling unit is 1,786. And the areas, Ado-Ekiti local government, Ward 4, polling unit 7, and Ekiti East local government, Ward 7, polling unit 6. The reasons for the cancellation are bypass of beavers and overvoting.
Okay, thank you very much. Have you recorded this on the EC40G?
Yes, sir.
And you are here with the EC40G?
Yes, sir.
As well as the EC8D?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Party agents, any comments, any observations on the presentation? Okay, State Coalition Officer, please present the original results to me.
Well, that was Ekiti result there being announced, and then you see how the figures, you know, were just coming, and then we had from the coalition officer of the state, they were asking him if there are cancellation where result did not take place, and then he mentioned the issue of beavers, you know, by bypassing beavers and then overvoting. And I asked myself, you know, there are mechanism to all of this, and then you know that this is the process. Why going, you know, by passing the beavers? This one, we are receiving it direct from the INEC. And they are saying this is the reason why they didn't cancel. And here, people are calling and they are asking for some that are over 2,000 plus people that didn't vote simply because 3 beavers were taken to that polling unit. Only one was walking, and then the one that was walking was slow. So at the end of the day, only 700 people voted. And they are asking, what about this 2,300? These are some of the questions that people are asking. In some areas, they will tell you, come back tomorrow by 8, based on INEC, that tomorrow you come by 8 and then start voting and stop by 12. And then voters are there, and no electoral officer is there. So you see, I so much agree with what you said earlier, that at the end of this exercise, we want to see the names of those local government, those polling units, and then the number of people that are there. You know, why voting didn't take place in those particular polling unit. And you tell us, is it the issue of beavers? Is it the issue of violence? Let's know. Like the one we just hear now, boycotting the beavers is one reason that INEC will cancel, and they just said it. So you bring all of this. If we can have every polling unit while election was cancelled, and we know the reason, the people there will defend it. If it's genuine, people there will speak. And they will tell us the reason, and then INEC will know exactly what to happen. Because I don't want to see this election like going to court. Like court should determine the winner. It still won't tell good about us, because it will just tell the world that something went wrong. Something that ordinarily you're supposed to do and you didn't do it, and then court is telling you this is the way you are supposed to do it.
Well, apparently, if the right thing is not done, the next place to resort to is
to the court.
to the courts, like
course.
legal redress. But like you said, we hope we do the right thing, that we don't have to go there. Collation is still going on at state level, like we've seen Kano, we've seen that of Lagos. So Nigerians are expectant. I will tell you, there are people that don't sleep. They want to see to the end of it, and we have been following as well. So like we have a democratic system. Nigeria is a democratic nation. Like we have politicians that know, like they practice the democracy, but they don't believe in it. Why am I saying this? Because if you believe in something, you will live by it and accept the outcomes of whatever comes with that. But if you are practicing a system as a nation, but you are vying for a position and you want to get it by all means, then that means it's no longer democracy. Because if it is democracy, it is government of the people, by the people. You can't take that away. It is by the people. It is not by some few individuals. It is not by some party structure. It is not by some godfatherism, but it is by the people, the majority of the people. So we can't have a system where we're practicing and we don't believe in it. That was why I talked earlier on about the president not abiding by section 122 of the Electoral Act, by casting his vote and still showing it, because that's what I'm saying. We can't have a system and we don't live by it. So INEC also has a point to prove after this election. We have, like INEC have been giving assurances. So if you don't live by it, like their names are at stake, especially like the officials, those people that are at the top, the president as well. This is his last tenure as a president. It's going to be transition to another hands, you get. So we must be able to do things. I think we should grow to a point that we see integrity as the watchword. What would you be remembered for? When your name is mentioned, will people clap? I say it again. Or when your name is mentioned, people will regret. I will always still remind us doing things the wrong way, or doing the wrong things. I think we'll continue to be going around same circle. So let's ensure that always we do the right thing. We already saw there was a video going viral of voters in Warri, for example, with their voters card saying, we must vote, because election did not hold there. Like they didn't see anybody. There was we must vote. So these beavers, like Welcome My Dear, it shows that we are growing. I know that for development to take place, you can't take away hurdles, you get. But this is something we have years to plan. Like almost $1 trillion has been spent in preparation for this election. That was why earlier on I was talking about the fact that why would you train a set of people and go and
we have a
different set of people to go to the field to work. No wonder all these challenges we are having. How can officials go to polling unit and then they bring out all these gadgets and they don't know how to use it? You have to walk to another polling unit to look for who will come and show you. I think it is just uncalled for. Imagine an international observer in that polling unit watching that. We become a joke to the international world. How can you even send 2 officials, for example, to over 1,000 people in a particular polling unit, and you go by 1 or past 1? How do you intend to achieve results? We had of polling units in Southern and Kaduna State where they have over 2,000 people, and even as at night yesterday, okay, the officials came around 1, and then imagine you have about 2,000 people and you're coming past 1. So how do you intend to achieve everything? First, they will come, start pasting the names and all of that. When they finish, they have to address the people, and you're coming by past 1. You have to address the people, what to do, what not to do, and all of that before you start the accreditation and then the voting and everything. So we shouldn't develop a system where we want to deliberately that would deliberately punish people. Like why would we have to allow things like that happen? Like I said, I know there are some people that I know that didn't vote yesterday. Why? They were at their polling unit from morning till night, and then nothing was happening, or there wasn't even like hope. Even the beavers that was functioning at that polling unit, they will tell you it's still slow. It's just 1 out of the 3,
went down,
and then it's slow.
Yeah, Joyce, we have John on the line. Good evening, John. Hello, Mr. John. Can you hear us? Good evening.
Okay, good evening, madam.
Good evening.
I'm enjoying your contribution towards the Choice 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I love all the contributions. I just want to quickly find out the state of the election in Akwa Ibom State, if the result is being compiled.
Okay. All right. Thank you, John, for that question. So far, so good from what we can see. The only coalition officer that was present in Abuja is Ode Ekiti. So it's obvious that Akwa Ibom are still working, and hopefully by tomorrow 11 a.m. we should be able to hear from Akwa Ibom. But you know, still, Joyce, you were writing a very valid point. And I still maintain my stand on the fact that the structure is faulty. If not, how on earth do we have, what will I say, we have a rule of law where nobody is supposed to be above the law, regardless of who you are? The rule of law is supposed to take its place. We saw that even from the very onset when we saw the redesign of the Naira No Choice. A particular, tier of government was being bypassed, and that is the legislature. It's supposed, because the reason why I'm bringing this is because we're supposed to have a process in everything. There are steps that are supposed to be followed before you can see anything or you can achieve results at the end of the day. And that is what we saw that is what we saw playing out during the reason why we saw some INEC officials coming late, some people not even knowing how to operate the beavers. And then looking at what Ekiti said, okay, we have another call on the line. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, we're very grateful for this election, but up to now, some states, they're doing their own, this problem where we are getting for this democracy. At least something that was supposed to do once. Well, I'm enjoying that their program. May God help you. This is my only suggestion. Anything we do in Nigeria, let us do in one voice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let people understand what is going around all.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so
We
much
appreciate
for
your
that
call.
I think at
Yes.
this point, because some people are already worried, okay, that was the result from Ekiti that we earlier saw presented by the state coalition officer for the presidential election.
Yeah.
Well, we recall we talked about the fact that it was adjourned, like the coalition till tomorrow 11 for the remaining state. Someone just asked, he wants to know the state of results for Akwa Ibom, I guess. Like we made mention of the fact that I think coalition is still going on at state level. But INEC from the coalition center in Abuja is just Ekiti so far that the result was released. So I think let's link up with the INEC chairman where the announcement was made for the adjournment so that other people too will hear directly from them. Let's link up.
So result for Ekiti State, duly considered and taken. Coalition Secretariat, do we have any more state coalition officers and vice chancellors on the queue? No more for today? Okay. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today, right now, we have only Ekiti State, but we are aware that there will be many more states concluding tonight and coming to Abuja. We'll make a special arrangement to bring them over quickly where there are no commercial flights to bring them and where they are separated by a considerable distance from Abuja. So on this note, and as I said in the afternoon, there will be interludes. We hereby adjourn and reconvene at 11 in the morning tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Well,
You heard from the INEC chairman.
the boss himself.
Yes, and they are reconvening 11 a.m. tomorrow. Well, so far, if you ask me, already having some observers coming with damning reports about this election. But we just trust and hope that INEC will do the needful. Like INEC chairman said, the situation room is still open and reports are still being given. And one of the essence of the situation room is as people give reports, they act on it based on challenges that are being encountered. And they are also watching us as we speak right now. And that's why we keep telling people, if there's any challenges encounter, you send it to us with full information, so that we can as well forward it, so that action is going to be taken. So you heard from the chairman, it is just Ekiti that the result was actually acknowledged, received. All right, let's speak with Kingsley from Abuja. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Fine. Just again, we appreciate you for keeping us updated. So mine is a very quick one. We are experiencing a shocking result from this particular election. We thought for what people are posting on social media, we know that shouldn't be taken. But on hearing the official announcement, now we are getting a very different view. So we hope that INEC do the right thing. We believe it's going to do the right thing. That's that and that. After another thing is on this particular Abuja election. Nothing's happened that is shocking all of us. You know that presidential election, senatorial election, and House of Assembly election, people we are voting not just for the candidate now, they are not voting parties. A particular party now that, like I myself, when I went there to vote, I'm supposed to vote for presidential election, presidential candidate, senatorial. But I found myself voting a particular party all through. And some of my friends are asked, they did same mistakes. So we are going to experience different set of results in this particular election in the House of Reps. People that we know before, most of them will be out of office, having new people in those places. So I believe that this is a wake-up call for all of them to know that anything can happen in this Nigerian election. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kingsley, for that.
Yes, anything can happen in this election. Yes, before it was just two options for Nigerians. Not until now that somebody that is bringing something different on the table that people are really considering, and it become an issue to even the two that we normally know, and then it's giving them sleepless night. So everything, like he said, is anything is possible. You just wake up. You remember the tsunami of Buhari, when he first came, that swept even the good ones that then are even PDP. They didn't even care. Some of them are even in the farm. When they call them, they just announced that you are the winner. You were like, wow, yes, because he just register and then post his poster. We have Tambaya
Hold on.
From Kano. Jeremiah from Kano. Jeremiah, good evening. How is Kano this evening?
Hello. Kano is very calm and very fine, sir.
All
that's good.
What's the situation there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. What is happening now? What is the situation?
And currently, we don't have any situation happening. The situation is, so far, we are enjoying the program, the Choice 2023 so far.
Oh, that's good.
And the question I have to ask, and some complication in my mind, is this. You see, it seems like we have no more trust on this issue of INEC collation of results or whatsoever. There are some issues they said earlier, if you can recall when he was addressing people at the first instance there, that the places where the election had some issues like fighting and destroying of ballot papers and so on, there will be re-election there today. And we keep on hearing some issues pertaining to that area again, as the election is not even going on, or the election did not even hold as more. So do we really have more confidence in them, as they were assuring us that there will be peaceful, free and fair election in Nigeria? Because this is the first time in history that they say they will not postpone the election. And we are very much happy and trusting on God that, yes, we want this issue to be in reality. So please, we want you journalists or the entire INEC chairman and subordinate or some other people to tell us what exactly is going on this election. Because some of us, we are seeing some issues that we do not even understand in the election so much so far. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. We really appreciate. Yeah, I think the INEC are doing justice to what you just asked, because you know he earlier in his address he said anything concerning the presidential, you know, will be done in the hall. We know just now he just suspended everything and they just took a break until tomorrow 9. But he said anything outside presidential election, they are going to address it outside the hall, which they have a media room, which they will give their own address in case anything arises that they need to respond to the masses out there. So and then the media room is not far from the hall, so you don't expect maybe you are thinking they will go far away. No, it's just within that. They can just. So what I want to say to viewers out there that have similar question or complaint, you know, let's just wait patiently, and then I know INEC will respond, you know, in due course.
Yeah, you know, that caller made a very valid point about confidence. Do we still have confidence in the INEC to make sure that when they say something, they follow it up with action? And I would say we still have confidence in them, just like you said, that they are listening and they will take note of every issue and make sure it's being rectified. Those local government that they assured us that election will take place today, if anything didn't go as they have said, definitely reports will get back to them, and we hope that they will address that. And for those that they told them to remain calm, that they will do this alongside us, especially the National Assembly, together with the gubernatorial election, we have to remain calm. But in the midst of all of this, just like I was saying earlier on, I just hope that we'll grow to that level where we know that we'll do the right thing. Why am I saying that? Because we brought issues left, right, and center, looking at the fact that INEC will say something or they will set the rule, and then we see people going against it. We see people breaking that rule. And I keep saying over and over, okay, we have another caller.
About state results.
Hello, Emmanuel. With you.
I have not heard about state results.
Okay, INEC will respond to that, sir. Just be patient.
In Ebonyi State.
Yes, INEC will respond to that. Just be patient.
Now,
yes.
What I'm saying, I wanted to cry because of the win of the APC.
You said?
Hello.
Yeah, we're with you.
I want to hear the result of Ebonyi State. What in it is, I'm not very happy.
Okay, just hold on. Any result you hear from anywhere cannot be the actual unless it's coming from INEC. So just be calm. Just be calm, and a coalition is going to continue more. Now it's just a key
to be patient, be peaceful. Do not go about, you know, causing trouble, because we are yet to hear the results at the end of the day. We need to learn to trust the system we're in. And I keep repeating this, that whatever you want to see, wherever you want to see a change, you have to be the reason for that change at the end of the day. We keep seeing back forth, you know, some, you know, lapses coming up, but then we cannot help it. Just like we say, this is the first time we're conducting an election this large with the beavers. So definitely this will serve as an eye-opener. I keep saying, because I do not want us to have an issue of voter apathy, especially when it comes to the gubernatorial election. We cannot just make it look as if this is the only election we're going to be having. We're still going to have the gubernatorial.
Let's speak with Ima from Delta. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Oh, Andrew.
Okay, Andrew.
Yes, please. I am calling from Delta State.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yes.
So how are you this evening?
Well, fine. I'm fine.
Okay. Situation over there. How is it, sir?
The situation is people are not happy about the process.
Okay.
People are not happy about the process. In my ward, say for instance,
yes, sir,
we have 3 communities in my ward. In those 3 communities, which I am an agent from the Labour Party, in those 3 communities, the Labour Party is leading with high margin, and several other places in Delta State with high margin. But our problem now is that after voting and counting of the election results, counting of the materials, the SPO that was supposed to come and upload the result with the beaver, he was called upon. When he now appeared, he said there wasn't network and all of that. We had to even use our, we had to connect hotspots for the people in order for the result to be uploaded. He started the process. The thing was going. He now got to a place, a point where they require a code to enter into the ICF, the INEC ICF. So they now called on him. He now started making a lot of excuses, and that he can't do that. He doesn't have the code. The code is with the REC. The REC is at the FGA, of which originally INEC said that result were supposed to be uploaded right at the polling unit. Right at the polling unit. Not going to the LGA. Right at the polling unit.
True.
So if one of your colleagues later said that results coming from other places cannot be trusted, that results could only be heard by INEC.
Yes.
How are we sure that INEC will do the right thing?
No, that was why we said you should take a record of the result from your polling unit.
So you can
Of course,
compare
we
it.
have the results. We have all our results.
Okay. Please don't get us wrong. You understand what we are trying to say.
Because
now there are so
political
many
party.
people aside of the political party. There are many people that are bloggers out there. They don't even belong to any political party, but when they are out there, they know will follow them. So that can just mislead people. But what we are trying to say, yes, after the counting in your own polling unit, take note of the total number of accredited voters there, the number of people that cast the vote, and then you have the number of your polling unit. So in case you have anything later to complain about, you have every record and say, this is what transpired in my own polling unit. This that we are saying, a polling unit can, even if, for instance, let me just add this, maybe the whole thing will go to court. A polling unit can decide who wins. You understand? So, but they have to go to polling unit and really know what exactly happened there. And know that what happened there is genuine. So from there, the court will give you your mandate, or the court may decide otherwise, whether they are to send INEC there, to still go there, and then conduct another election there, so that, the right thing will be done. So don't get us wrong, please. Yes. So just try and be patient and listen to us well. But what we are trying to say, INEC are the official people that are releasing results. But we are not saying that whatever they release, that is it. Because even them, the results are coming from left, right, center. So you don't expect somebody in Abuja verifying an election from Akwa Ibom or Maiduguri. We have a caller on the line. Good evening.
I think that's Andrew Still. You're responding to him.
Okay,
So
again, just to add to the clarity, you recall that we were expressing appreciation to Nigerians for their doggedness, especially on how that they didn't just cast the vote, but they waited for the ballot to be counted.
I'm calling from Kaduna.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to the show.
How do I know?
Okay.
Go on, ma'am, with you.
How do Onu?
Yes.
Okay, please go on.
Anna, please.
Okay, Anna, go on. We can hear you.
Yes. Okay, good evening.
Good evening. What's the situation in Kaduna, Anna?
Okay, like Kaduna South, the situation everywhere is calm.
Okay. Anyway, with you, go on.
Everywhere is calm.
Okay.
We all voted, no violence, and we all had our results at hand. So we are all waiting for the results from INEC.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ene, for that. And I think that is what we are saying to every, when you go out there. I think Joyce emphasized on the fact that let us have the number of each polling unit each of the results, so you'll be able to compare and then don't feel like you were left out or INEC is saying something. I think that was the clarity you were both trying to make. The fact that you should have your own result, so that when it's been, and even though I know when we go to the Abuja, they are not going to actually call each local government, but then you'll be able to verify and hear, is your polling unit part of the ones that were being cancelled? Was there overvoting or anything whatsoever? So I hope that we keep abiding that, even though it might be difficult at a time like this, because you just want to hear something, but we should not be carried away. Just like Mr. Solo said, we'll have the likes of people, bloggers, trying to just put something out there to feed you with fake news and things that will just calm you, but we need to, you know, keep
in fact, I saw a result yesterday. Like, I even gave an instance how someone said because of the result he saw by just some random individual, and then he favored his party, the party is supporting, then the others he put 0-0, like, and if obviously that's not the right result. So it is to those kind of results that we are saying, no, don't just hold on to that kind of report, seeing random report on social media and say, oh, this is the result, my party have lost, my candidate have lost. So no. And like for every polling unit that you participated, ensure, we kept saying, ensure that you know, wait until it is counted, take note of the numbers for each party. Go back, keep it, like hold it. When INEC is announcing, just oppose it. When they are calling your own word, if you go to the result checking portal as well, as collation is going on for your state, now watch keenly, check keenly. Is it what was announced at your polling unit that is being reflected at the INEC result checking portal, or that is being announced? If it is not, you have the right to seek legal redress. You have that right. So we are not saying that, we're only telling you that it is just INEC that has that right to announce result. Let's speak with
another caller from Lagos. Good evening. Hello, Tony, are you there? Good evening.
Yes, good evening. This is Tony from Lagos.
All right.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you know, I'm surprised today seeing so many results coming out in Lagos, because yesterday we witnessed a lot of ugly issues here in Lagos, where some of the polling stations where hoodlums come and took away the ballot paper, where they shoot and destroy so many TV. So many people waited for the INEC officials and no one showed up. And today we see a lot of results coming out here in Lagos. And, you know,
from the State Collation Center, right?
It promised us a fair and fair election. But what we are seeing today, it doesn't seem like what they promised us. So, and INEC themselves not come out to tell us anything about those places that they had not carried out their votes yesterday. And today the results are coming out. So what is our fate? I mean, at least we are all human. This is not what they promised us. They have been planning this election over 2 years ago. And today, because I can hear your analysis that someone in Abuja will not be monitoring what is happening here. They have their cows everywhere. But they have those that are passing information today. It's not that those Abuja will be caught. It's not only one person. They have INEC officers all over the state, so they should be able to know what is going on. And even the security they promise, some of the polling stations don't even have the security. Where are those the securities? Because I don't believe that we'll have the security who will come and took away the ballot post and tear the papers. I mean, I was trying to witness anything like fair election on this. It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Okay, Mr. Tony, we understand your pain. But what we are trying to say is that you have to understand the chain of command when INEC are doing their thing. You don't expect, you know, for instance, Professor Mahmoud, you know, from Abuja, to know exactly what happened in Oshodi in a particular polling unit. It's not possible. It's your responsibility. That's why it's all inclusive. Like, for instance, now, what happened in some of the polling units that some of the people in Lagos are complaining, you know, is there any formal complaint to INEC? That's number one thing that we should be asking. Because you have, even if we said, okay,
Tony,
okay, Tony, you're online?
Hello.
yes, sir, we're with you,
Yeah,
Tony.
Hello.
Mr.
Okay.
Tony.
Hello. Yeah, he said it's my responsibility. Do you expect me to engage on a fight there? There's supposed to be an security there to control the situation.
I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about security, Mr. Tony.
I can do. Yeah, there's a limit I can do.
Of
but
course.
The ugly situation there, we should have the
Just calm down. Everything will be fine. INEC are listening to you. But we want you to understand this information because there must be, there should be a clear communication. You have to understand us because we are not happy with certain things that are happening there, and we are reporting. If we report the good things that are happening, that means you wouldn't even have a voice here. But we report both what is happening that is good and what is happening that is not right, so that will create a balance. But what we are trying to say, in your own polling unit is your responsibility. Whatever is going there that is wrong, you are to file an official report to INEC in that place that you are residing, so that they will take it up from there. If you don't put a proper complaint, you know, they won't know that something happened there. Yes, even though there are videos there that are flying, who knows? Maybe the video is not for this recent election. They can say that. But what we are trying to say, when you put your complaint, they will understand, go and check and know what exactly happened.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. How are you doing this evening?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Tozuki Sylvester calling from Plateau.
All right,
okay, go ahead.
This is Tozuki Sylvester calling on the Plateau.
All right, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah, I wish to state my own view too.
You're welcome.
I can see that Nigeria is a country where we have beautiful policies standing on the fence, getting dusted.
Tochiko, go on. We are with you.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that, do you know that after all this planning that we have appreciated in the time past, so do you know that yesterday the problem is that the people who are trying for transport could not even give us transportation at the time we were supposed to get the transportation.
Okay. You're one of the official.
Huh?
You're one of the official.
I'm not one of the officials.
Okay, what was your role?
I was not even an observer, but I am one of the patriotic Nigerians that follow the voting from the rack center where we collected everything down to the polling unit, to my own polling unit even.
Okay.
Now, do you know that so many people were there expecting that they will meet, that in the result will come in time.
Okay.
Time, they were have waited before. The result came before the voting system began. And thereafter, you know that we discovered that the INEC, the people that INEC hired to do the work for them, were not even eligible. It were personal individuals like myself and others that put it together to see that results were sent from the Beaver and every other thing was compared.
Okay, what local government in Plateau State
could not even do the work? So what I'm saying is that you put this policy on ground, you have people that you are friend.
Just think about it. An observer is there, and then the INEC official that is sent to conduct the election doesn't even know how to use the equipment. We will look like a joke to the international world. So, like we keep urging Nigerians, please remain calm. Let's be peaceful. The only result that has been announced so far is that of Ekiti, and we await that from tomorrow 11 a.m. other states are going to be coming in. Already some are expressing bitterness about the whole process. Yes, this is what was counted, but from the body language, it's like they're having some.
All right, Emmanuel, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I want to come. Yeah, good evening. I'm calling from Lagos, precisely.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to make a complaint on what happened yesterday because I'm one of the polling agents at Itachi.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, after the whole process, and they were able to complete the result, but the actual problem we're having there for them to upload the result, which they did not. And now they say they're going back to where they're supposed to be. And we are, at the fact is that we don't only have such confidence in them because INEC said after the whole process, they're supposed to upload and send immediately. And most of the centers there, it wasn't so. So I don't know what next is going to happen.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling. You know, that's what we talked about earlier. We should have a system where people can trust, where people can have confidence, when people can go and sleep, knowing well that their vote will count. And why are we having all these doubt and lack of confidence? It is, like I said earlier, one of it is the fact that we assent to laws like the Electoral Act and we see the same person going against it. So people begin to doubt the whole process. We've seen how people delayed, even after the assurances, we saw officials coming late and all of that. So no wonder people don't trust the whole system. Please upload the result before you go. And then the issue of the no network and all of that, people begin to doubt the process. Let's have a system where a system that is going to work.
Functioning.
Let's be proactive. We kept mentioning these things even before the election. Like we shouldn't be talking about logistics problem. We shouldn't be talking about malfunctioning. We shouldn't be talking about delay. Like earlier on, one of the artwork staff in Kano at the Coalition Center. We have a caller, Charles from Ebonyi. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I've been listening, I've been watching your program since afternoon, and I like what people are doing in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
But what I just want to say is that they're talking about seeking legal means to salvage problems that come up in this electoral process. The question we should be asking ourselves in the first place is our legal system reliable? Is our legal system reliable? That is why most of these politicians, what they're after is just let us do whatever we can do and get the result. Let the person go to court. Because they know what they are going to, they know how they are going to manipulate, meander through the system and get what they want. The moment, Nigerians started getting, agitated, the moment they cannot, the results at the polling unit, especially that of the presidential election, cannot be uploaded to the beavers. That was at the point where people started getting agitated that this election has been compromised. INEC should please help us. You see, people came out, and if we have a free, fair, and credible election in this 2023, I'm telling you, by the next election, it will be a kind of a revival to our people with regard to electoral participation. That if INEC failed Nigerians in this 2023 election, I'm telling you that the reverse is going to be the case. That is my contribution.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charles,
for that. Appreciate. Like I said, logistic challenge that has been faced during the election, like we shouldn't be hearing of it. These are issues that even before the election should have been tackled. And just like he said, from that point where people come with beavers and is not functioning or can't even use it as INEC officials, it will make people to begin to give up on the process. But like we continue to maintain, Nigerians should remain calm even amidst the situation as we await the coalition to continue in Abuja tomorrow, and for the states that are yet to conclude. I think they should do that. Let's pick this call from Kaduna. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Yeah,
from
good
Kano.
evening. Yeah, my name is Baladen Juma. I'm calling from Kano.
Okay, Baladen Juma, good evening.
Yeah,
Yeah, turn down the volume of your TV set, sir.
Okay. I almost got that's all right.
Hello, Bala, are you there?
Okay, yeah, I'm there. I'm with you, man.
All right, go on. We can hear you.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, you see, we have been hearing news all over. I will see people seeing gathering, saying this, bringing out results from different places. This one we say Labour Party are winning here. This one APC are winning. In fact, I got confused. Not until I come home now, watching your program, And something just gets into my head now that, why shouldn't I be patient, wait for the INEC, just as you're saying? So, in fact, I congratulate you people. I want to say thank you for the good work people are doing there.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, this is one out of the many that is actually, you know, trying to say that he's calm, and I hope that we'll all be calm together, you know, because whether you receive the result today or tomorrow or next, it won't change the fact that at the end of the day, whoever emerges as a winner is still the winner. So let's just, you know, abide that spirit of, you know, being patient and also waiting and trusting. I know it might be difficult, but let us please just trust the system, trust the INEC, that they know what they are doing, and for all the complaints we have gotten here, that they will address it one after the other. So let's keep the faith moving.
Yes, let's keep the faith moving. You know, you see, let me just put this clear, you know, to our viewers out there. You just have to be patient. You have to be calm, because your whole senses have to be together, you know, so that someone would not just take advantage of you because he know you are anxious or something, and then he will give you something that you can take, and then tomorrow is going to be a detrimental to you. You know, all that we are saying, we are talking about this process from the polling unit. Make sure you have a record of everything that transpired.
In fact, Sambo Solomon, we've had a situation where I think someone was almost disenfranchised, and she did a live video. And when she did the live video at the poll, she was talking. In fact, she was just echoing, Jesus, my God, and she kept doing the video, showing everything that was happening. Like, this is one way that you could report the situation. And because of the live coverage, the situation was calm immediately. And at the end of the day, all the people that were almost disenfranchised at that polling unit voted. So this is one way to do that. Sometimes, like we said, it's important for us to keep record when things are happening as it is taking place. That's why we have the hotlines. INEC release hotlines. EFCC, recall, did the same thing. Even the the police through the IGP release hotlines. So I think all these are actually important. Let's still speak with Kingsley.
This will be our last call for the day.
Good evening, Mr. Kingsley, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Am I on live studio or is from other side?
You are live.
You are live, sir.
Okay, I'm Kingsley by name.
All right. Go on, please, Kingsley. We're with you.
Yeah. In my area where we had voting from Saturday 25th. Hello?
Yeah, we're with you. Which area in Lagos, sir?
Okay. The point is that in that area, we are doing voting. They came very, very late in that area. Very, very late. And they started very, very late. Could you imagine that most of us could not vote? They told us that the beaver battery is low. The beaver battery is very, very low, and they stopped. My number was number 433, and I could not vote. They said the beaver battery is very, very low, that they have to stop at number 350 because the battery is very, very low at Sherry White Sand there, unit 224. So at the end of it, I could not vote. They said they are doing their counting right now. And when they started counting, at the end of it, I could not vote in that particular unit because the beaver battery, according to the state, is very, very low. Is it proper? Is it fair? Where INEC the beaver battery can take us for 24 hours. From 12 o'clock till 5 o'clock, the same battery is low. It cannot continue again. There has to be the battery to do the counting. So I could not vote any longer. And I'm not really happy about it because I could not exercise my right for my candidate. So that's what I really passed on that election day. I wasn't happy about it. And the vote, my center was to have about 750 people to vote in that particular center. Only 350 voted. The remaining voters could not vote because they came late and said the battery is low and they're about to close. They cannot continue voting in my area, in the Sherry White Sand, unit 224. That's I'm calling for one observation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Well noted. Thank you for this information. Like, I think this is very important and it's key. Like, I don't know, I kept saying from the beginning of this show, why would some people be deliberately disenfranchised? I'm saying, using the word deliberately. How can we be talking about Beaver's battery being low when we know we have an election that is very key? Like, this election is inconsequential. An election, we kept assuring people that, oh, no, don't worry, you're going to participate. Like I said earlier on, all these logistic issues were things that would have been dealt with even before the election. Like I said earlier on, INEC should get a list of all these polling units. We're grateful for all the information we're getting. And like all the information of polling unit that people were not able to vote. Please, let's ensure that election take place in that place. How can we have a system where people don't believe in it? Like this is one of the like, remember how we kept saying that this legacy, if we live by it, and if the president, like he assured, kept to his word or keeps his word, like Nigerians will live to remember him, the world will applaud him, and God will still
reward him.
You get. So I think the needful must be done. Like the needful must be done. Think about how the people took their time to actually entrust you with this position. Let's do the needful. Like, I think this is the point where all stakeholders need to come together and ensure that nobody is left behind in this process.
I agree with you, so that nobody will be left behind. I just want to say this quickly before we take a break. It is very key for us to be calm. Yes, out there already the tension is rising because some people are feeling that they are being shortchanged. We just have to be calm. You know, INEC are on top of the situation. I want you to know this in your polling unit as a community, because I see how some people waited till 11 p.m. just to cast their vote. That means they have agreed. That means they have come together. They are resilient concerning this particular thing that they want in that particular community. Take note of everything that happened in your community. As a community, those that are voting in a particular polling unit, gather a report. As a political party that you feel shortchanged, gather your official report. As an agent, gather your official report, so that even if it means that what happened there is not properly translated, you know, to the world there, you can still go back and make a reference. There are witnesses. This is what we are saying. So that in case, I'm just saying in case, when there is no redress from the appropriate quota, at least you can present your case and it's genuine. We have people there that will stand for you, and then it will be redressed. I think that way, that's a part of peace. Than everybody is trying to raise the tension, feeling like he's cheated, and then he can do otherwise. Like one of the caller, I'm trying to remember what he said. He said the reverse. Instead of people celebrating, the reverse will be the case, you know. And we don't want to start hearing things like that, that people are saying if the INEC didn't do the right thing, you know, there will be people will react the negative way. It won't do us well.
You know, we always maintain that the right thing should be done so that we can avert all of this. But in the end of it, let's all give peace a chance. Like we said earlier on, right now coalitions are going on in different states, and we are hopeful that as soon as they are done, just like the INEC chairman said, they'll be finding their way to Abuja, and by tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. exactly, results are going to be collated at the collation center in Abuja. Right now, from Lagos State, we are having result is already being given from Ekpe, Lagos mainland, Lagos Island, Korodu, and it's still going on right now. So by tomorrow, we're going to have the full result coming from Lagos as well. And Lagos is one of the places where we've had lots of complaints, disruption, and all of that. But we hope that at the end of the day, what we are going to be hearing wouldn't be different from what the people actually have at hand as what was actually calculated from their polling units. Let's give integrity a chance, and let's give peace a chance as well.
It is possible. For viewers out there, we want to say thank you for staying with The Choice 2023. We will take a break, so stay with Ekwa Television. God bless you.
Niger.